What do the scientists say about the best way to fight the pandemic? I bring this up because Joe Biden keeps saying he'll listen to the scientists. And if the polls are right, that could be official policy come January. So what would that policy look like? Okay, the best of the best scientists almost uniformly agree on three things. We need a national mask mandate, more testing, and the closure of bars and restaurants. If Biden's serious about taking his cue from science, here's a good chance he'll take these questions away from the states and decide everything at the federal level. Right now, if you listen to President Trump, you'd think a Biden administration means we'll have a European-style lockdown, which is essentially what most states did in March. But no one's seriously floating that idea right now in the Democratic Party. And they talk about a much more limited partial shutdown. Of course, we don't know if any of this will even be relevant by the time Inauguration Day rolls around. There's almost 3 months from now, and 3 months from now in the time of COVID, it seems like forever. But still, if Biden wins, the federal government will get more aggressive about slowing the spread of the virus. So who benefits from that kind of partial lockdown? Mostly the companies that have already adapted to the new world, the ones that have spent the last 6 months preparing for another wave of infections. A partial lockdown, for instance, would be great news for a stock that's getting crushed here, for the stock of Amazon. If you go over the latest quarter, Amazon said it's on target to spend its entire fourth quarter earnings on safety. They made a huge bet that we're going to have a hard winter. If COVID cases keep spiking, and why wouldn't they, Amazon will be ready, meaning their supply chains will remain intact. Can't say that about the other guys. Amazon stocks actually got hit on that news and continue to fall today. I think the sellers are being short-sighted. When the hospitals fill up and stores are forced to close, you'll be glad Amazon spent billions to ensure they'll be able to get you what you need. Second lockdown winner, Chipotle. Believe it or not, Chipotle is one of the few restaurant chains with a comprehensive plan to deal with the new wave of infections. These guys figured out that they can make just as much money without indoor dining by investing heavily in takeout and delivery. Chipotlanes. Most restaurants have not adapted well to the world where they might be shut down again. They're simply hoping it won't happen. Hope is not a strategy. Third, as the indoor dining places are forced to close, we end up in a world dominated by the likes of Domino's Pizza, which barely had an indoor presence to begin with. It's all delivery. How about retail? There are two chains that have figured out touchless. That's Target and Walmart. They were vigilant throughout. They've been preparing for Biden or Trump. Even if we go back into full lockdown, they'll be able to stay open like they did in the spring because they're considered essential. Hopefully that definition will expand, but maybe it won't. What else? If a Biden administration decides to spend a lot more money on testing, well, you do want to own one of the testing plays, namely Abbott Labs or LabCorp, a company I've gotten to know that I think is doing a fantastic job. Finally, we know that Clorox and Estee Lauder both work just fine under the partial lockdown. Everybody buys more Clorox when infections spike. And Estee Lauder, well, what can I say? It's surprisingly essential right now because masks give so many people acne. Oh, man, one of them's bleeding. That's horrible. And we call it maskne, right? I mean, they were able to report a great quarter simply because there's absolutely nothing you can do. When you put this on, all right, the one thing that happens is you get a big pimple like this one right here that makeup's trying so hard to... Go ahead, see it. Makeup is trying so hard to they can't. You can't hide that bad boy. Ho, ho. All right, the good news. All of these names would work under both candidates. They're COVID winners, and COVID will be with us regardless of who wins tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday because we're going to be live all week. Even a partial lockdown could get very ugly if Congress fails to pass another major stimulus package. I like to say there's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to find it just for you right here on Mad Money. I'm Jim Cramer. See you tomorrow. The News with Shepard Smith starts now.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.